To give massive thanks to all of my supporting members and patrons. Thank you all so very much. Hello, good evening and welcome to all of you. 2 nights on the trot, eh? 2 lives on the trot. I haven't had a chance even, because I literally just got here, haven't had a chance to look through everyone who's here, but scrolling through, there's quite a few names I recognise, so thank you very much for joining us once again. Tonight is going to be quite interesting, and I'll just say, I was worried for a minute that Bev wasn't going to turn up, but he has. He turned up within the final minute, so good timing. Can't knock you for that, pal. Yeah, so I said this is going to be interesting because my understanding is Bev does not accept that Black Swan is proof of a flat Earth, and so he wants to destroy it. I don't accept that the Black Swan is proof of a flat Earth. So how's this going to go? I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you, Bev, a 30-second warning, and then I'll drag you into the live room. So yeah, what exactly is this going to be? A debate where both parties agree? Not sure, but we shall see. We shall see. So a couple of quick hellos. Just jumping in. I see. Oh, a new name. Kelsey Elsie or Chelsea Elsie. Not sure. Ugly German Truce. Now there's a name I've not seen around for a little while. Nimrod colon. Always colon. Rich 901. David Oliver Nimrod. Chris Durham. Music Channel Thud Thud and David Oliver. Oh, and second best Bob. Thanks Bob. And I won't scroll through all the rest. You know that each and every one of you is welcome. I appreciate each and every one of you coming. Right, well, let's get Bev in here then and get the sound going and see how things go. Good evening, Bev. Can you hear me, pal?
Yeah.
Oh, all looking good. How are you?
Fine, thank you very much.
Jolly good, jolly good. Well, this is going to be interesting, isn't it? Would you like to introduce yourself first, though, for anyone who perhaps hasn't heard of you?
Well, I'm just Bev.
Okay, just Bev. Just Bev. All right, so, yeah, like I just said on the intro, I'm not 100% sure how this is going to go, because that is correct, isn't it? You think that the Black Swan does not evidence the Earth being flat. That's correct, isn't it?
I've never said that. No, I said I've got problems with it.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Do you want to go ahead?
Like, yeah, the Earth's obviously not flat. I mean, goes without saying, right?
Well, we're not going to go into the business of like bumpy Earth 420 about the fact it's got mountains. We all agree that is topography.
Okay, so we agree it's not flat then.
If you had a flat Earth, but it's got mountains, you'd still call it a flat Earth. It's basically not a sphere. You wouldn't. Okay. All right. Well, let's put it this way. I believe it's a sphere with topography, lumps and bumps and dips.
Okay. Which is, we're going over the Black Swan.
Right. So, do you want to tell us what your problem? I have a problem with Black Swan. I think it's a load of crap. So, do you want to tell us your problem with the Black Swan?
Do you want to work through it together, logically, right?
Well, come on, you start. Tell us what your issue is with the Black Swan.
The initial case is it's called the Black Swan, right? Now, you initially have a conception of what the Black Swan is. Now, is that what the Black Swan is, or are you thinking of a picture?
I'm not even sure what you mean. They seem to think that because that Black Swan image, that film by BLMS 69 or whatever he's called, happens to show platform, is it Habitat, the further one, and some ocean beyond it, that disproves the globe. That's their position. I don't think that's the case.
The very term the Black Swan is Karl Popper falsification thing, showing one black swan means that
not all swans are white.
Yeah, you falsify the statement all swans are white. So, step one, what is the idea of the Black Swan in the terms of that thing, right? I mean, does anybody really understand what the concept of the Black Swan is?
I think it's quite obvious, Bev, because they did that modus tollens, if P then Q, not P, not Q thing, with the if you every horizon on a globe with a radius 3959 must have a horizon distance no more than, was it 1.22 times the observer square height in feet?
That all. Do you want me to do it properly? I've got it here. If you
go on then, go ahead. That was just off the top of my head. So go on. Go on.
I mean, let's get over I'll get around to that in a minute. So, the problem with the Black Swan is that nobody understands what the Black Swan is, because
I don't think that's
they're thinking
problem.
of the picture, right? Now, the actual Black Swan is for the person to gain. The logical statement gives you a concept for then you can find something, right, in the end. So the Black Swan actually is a personal thing. That technically would be BMSLB
whatever his name is.
His Black Swan, right? That picture was his Black Swan, not necessarily, part of the argument. That's the result from the argument. So I don't think
he even said Black Swan. He just his video says here's a video that shows this, and I think it disproves curvature of the Earth, and that's got picked up by Oakley and everyone else, and saying, aha, that's a Black Swan because not all swans are white, etc.
Yeah. So,
but does it matter? The point is, they think it disproves the Earth being a sphere.
No,
and it doesn't.
Yeah, because the way the logic statement's set up. Right, let me see if I can get it. I'll put it in this.
Oh, and I'll just say while Bev's looking for that, if anyone has any super chats, we'll save them up to the end. So if you've got any particular questions for Bev, then I'll bunch them up and ask them towards the end of the discussion.
Okay, so the idea of what we try and do is we call it t-shirt logic, but that just means a simplified version of logic.
What, you mean memes that you can stick on a t-shirt and flog for a few quid?
Well, no, that you can, if you can simplify it good enough to make it understandable, that you could put it on a t-shirt, then it's accessible to everyone.
Okay.
That's the idea, the concept behind it. I mean, the fact that you do put it on a t-shirt
and flog it for a few quid.
I've got one on it at the minute. I'm not flogging them. I buy them. I don't sell them.
Anyway.
So the idea of it is to simplify it. Now, at the base of all of the logic, we end up with we call them 4 basic laws of understanding. Like the law of identity, where P is P, right? P is always the identity of that object is always the object, right? So P is P. You've got P or not P, which is the law of the excluded middle, right? So can it be either on or off, or one or the other, or that or not that, right? It can't be. There's nothing in between. That's how you base your statements. And then you've got obviously the law of non-contradiction. It can't be both P and not P. That's not allowed. And obviously the double negative, right? So that you base those laws at the beginning. So when you try and check your P's and Q's within the logic, you've got to make sure that those are sorted at the beginning.
Oh, so, I'll just say good evening, SE Montreal. I see is in the chat. Listen and learn, ballers. Okay, Bev, you're going through stuff about logic. What is the problem? It's the Black Swan you wanted to discuss, you said? Yeah,
we go through now, right? So you've got if P, then Q. So we've got to check the P first, step 1. Right, so the P in QE's Black Swan.
Oh, yes, it was QE who came up with that modus tollens, wasn't it? Yes.
Okay, so it states, if the Earth is a sphere with a radius 3959 miles, P, right, so that's your P. Mm-hmm. So how do we know that? I mean, where did he get
that's
that
what your
from?
question... that's what you're questioning. That's the logical statement, isn't it? If it is a sphere radius 3959, then so I mean, we don't, for the sake of this modus tollens, we don't know. That's the assumption. If it is, then this must hold true.
Yeah, but in order for you to do the logic, we have to check our P's and Q's. Mind your P's and Q's.
But you don't with that.
Well, where does it come from?
Well, it could be anything. You could say if the Earth is made of cheese, then I could slice it with a knife and have it in sandwiches.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, but that's what you could say. So we don't have to prove at that point that the Earth is made of cheese. What we're saying is, if it is, you could slice it and have it in sandwiches. We find out we can't slice it and have it in sandwiches. Therefore, it cannot be made of cheese.
Yeah, but if in order to do this logic and go through it step by step, we've got to check the P's and Q's, and with that.
But it's a whole, Bev. It's a whole.
All you've got to go off really is 1 degree for 69 miles. 69 miles times 360 gives you 3953.
Yes, but that could be another modus tollens, couldn't it? In that if the Earth is a sphere radius 3959, then the circumference is so and so, and therefore each degree would be 69 miles. Not each degree 69 miles, then it's not a sphere circumference, whatever. That's the whole point. You don't break down one individual step. That is a statement. If it's this, then this must hold true. If that doesn't hold true, then not this.
Yeah.
Boom. So you don't need to test this at first.
So it could be anything. That number there at the beginning.
The P could be anything. It could be anything, yeah.
Right. Does that sound logical?
I mean, that's the case. You with your P can be anything. That's the thing that you're trying to identify by use of the modus tollens.
But that's if the identifier of P is P, then you have to stick with P being that. You know, like P is P. You can't then go, well, you could have P as being something else.
Well, it's whatever you want to test. It's whatever you want to test,
right?
Isn't it?
Well, within this argument, then, is that what you think QE's testing? Whether it could be 3959?
Well, he believes his modus tollens is basically trying to demonstrate that if the Earth is a sphere that size, then your horizon should always appear at this point. The horizon doesn't always appear at this point, therefore it's not a sphere of that size. Yeah. That's all that modus tollens would show, which is why when I had that debate with Mitchell from Australia on Fight the Flat Earth that I am constantly misquoted and cherry-picked from, I said at best, because if his modus tollens was correct, which it wasn't, but if his modus tollens was correct, then at best he had disproved that radius, the 3959. It could be 3960 or 3958. That's all he would have proved. Well, sorry, not proven. All he would have shown. And
but then
people don't get it. They don't follow English, and they don't follow the logic of that statement.
Okay. Well, could he then say?
Sorry, who?
If the Earth is a sphere of radius, whatever you say it should be, and then come back at you with the same argument.
Sorry, I'm not sure you follow. You're saying could he then just reconstruct it with a radius of 3960 and go through the? Yeah. Well, potentially he could. He could keep doing that. Although I think with that Black Swan imagery, he was basically showing it wasn't just not at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet, but way, way, way more. I think he was basically trying to show. Sorry?
That's the Q. So we'll
deal with but I think that having followed that modus tollens through, he was trying to demonstrate that it's not just not 3959, but it is absolutely nowhere near. Therefore, that whole radius thing is a load of crap. I think that's what he was trying to show. But the point is, the Black Swan doesn't show anything of the sort, because we got the refraction of the highest order, which means that the observation was a load of shite anyway.
Yeah, it's not about the observation, is it?
Well, tell that to Oakley and that. This photo destroys the globe Earth. It's the number one globe killer. Well, apparently not.
Again, like that's one of the problems. Like that's the logic is completely separate, right? Because that's what they say, the Black Swan. Now, have you associated that Black Swan with the picture? Or have
So
you
what are you saying? I mean,
with the logic?
they are using a Modus tollens and that image supposedly to debunk the Earth being a globe.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that's correct. Like I say, I'm pretty sure the Black Swan is for the person to find, right? Go and find your Black Swan.
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know what you mean.
Here's the framework for you to find that yourself. That's
Well,
what.
how are you saying that? Because they gave a Modus tollens statement with the 3959 and a horizon distance, and they're saying if not that horizon distance, then not 3959 radius.
Okay, well, let me say you've already said we can put the beginning one, any number we want there.
Any number, any object, anything. Yes.
Right. Okay.
You know?
Now, within the second part, then, right, as a consequent, right, of the Earth being a sphere of that size, right, a consequent of that is that every horizon distance measurement, right? How many of those have you ever seen?
Sorry, what do you mean?
A horizon distance measurement.
Well, you can't measure it just looking at a photo anyway. The only interesting thing about the Black Swan is there were specific objects in the photo at known distances, and because the known distance of that platform habitat was way beyond the geometric horizon calculated distance, they took that and then said, "Aha! Therefore, it's not a sphere." Because that
distance.
Yeah, sorry, go
on. It says every horizon distance measurement. I mean, how do you measure the distance to the horizon?
Well, they believed that looking at that photo gave them a measurement. I.e.,
how would you check it though? I mean, like,
well, it's not up to me to. It's not up to me to check it, is it?
Yeah,
I'm not making. I'm.
Jeez.
You know. No, hold on. I hadn't made any claims. It's not my Black Swan theory that they're saying. If, as you globies say, the radius is this, therefore the horizon must be that, and I've got a photo that shows a horizon that's way beyond. Therefore, it's not a globe. That's their whole shtick, and it's a load of crap. Because we know that you only see the apparent horizon, not the geometric horizon, because we live in an atmosphere, therefore you always have refraction. And so that moves the horizon. We've seen that. Kyle Adams yesterday was showing it. What was it? Skunk Bay film with everything moving up and down, time lapse showing across the bay. That was lovely to show how you get distortion because of refraction. And in BS's video, he even says this is how the platform normally appears, but on very rare occasions it sometimes appears like this. Therefore, he has cherry-picked, or actually he didn't make much of it, but everyone else, Oakley et al., have cherry-picked that one rare occasion when you can see so much further because you've got extreme refraction, and then said, aha, therefore it can't be a sphere. And that's why it's a load of shit. And they seem to genuinely think they've proven something. Well, all they've proven is refraction can be a bitch. Refraction can distort like a bugger.
So you would agree with us then that they've got a problem with the cube, that every horizon distance measurement can't be done. There's no such thing. Like there's no such thing as every horizon distance measurement.
Well, what they've done is they've taken
there isn't one horizon distance measurement.
They've taken the geometric radius of the Earth. Earth is a physical object. They've taken the they've taken the geometric
the if at the beginning.
Sorry. Oh yeah, yes, I know there's an if at the beginning, but what they've done is they've taken that if with that potential radius of a sphere, and then from that calculated the geometric distance to the horizon, which would be a consequent of a sphere of that size, but then they're looking at it optically. That's not the same thing. They have not measured the geometric distance. They've taken a calculated geometric distance, look at a photo and say, aha, that's not that geometric distance. Well, no, of course it's not that geometric distance. It's a refracted image. So they had taken no measurement at all.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. And job done, pal. Job done.
Yeah,
they're talking a load of crap. We may
distance,
disagree on everything else, then, Bev.
There's no such thing.
Sorry.
There's no such thing as a horizon distance measurement. And that, as he says, all of those numbers came from the curve calculators.
Well, they will be estimates, won't there? There'll be estimates, based on standard refraction and stuff like that. But it's
I mean, it's just a consequence of that model. So everything that he got from the curve calculators came from the model that he gave you at the beginning. That thing just says, basically, if your model is your model, then you would have this as a geometric horizon distance measurement.
As a geometric one, yes. But did they measure it geometrically? No, they didn't measure it geometrically.
No.
They looked through the bottom of beer glasses at a distorted image and then said, aha, well, that's not what the geometric distance... Well, no, of course not, because you're not looking at it without an atmosphere. You're not looking at the geometric horizon. So, of course, it's not the same as the geometric horizon. Therefore, you've proved nothing. That was my whole point with Mitch. When I said, if everything you said was correct, if, that is, then at best you would have disproved that 3959. But everything he said wasn't correct, therefore he didn't disprove it. And even if he had, it would just could be slightly different. So this is it. I don't know why they keep wasting their time. They got their knickers all moist about a load of nothing.
And the end statement as well. It says the Earth is not a sphere. Well, no, because the if at the beginning is if the Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3959, right? So that end statement should be, then the Earth is not a sphere of radius 3959. But you've already said at the beginning, you could have put any number there anyway.
Yes, but that, I mean, that's fine. The first part of that Modus tollens was okay. If, and I'm testing, it's a sphere radius 3959, then this must hold true. This apparently doesn't hold true, therefore it is not a sphere radius 3959. That would be a correct statement. The problem is they didn't actually test that statement. They looked at something else. That's like saying, well, I'm trying to think of another example. If I stick my fingers into that socket and there is electric in there, I'll get a shock. Well, I stuck my fingers into a bowl of water in the sink. I didn't get electric shock, therefore that socket... No, that's something totally different. What's this bowl of water in the sink got to do with it? Nothing. There's the socket. You didn't stick your fingers in it. They didn't measure the geometric horizon, therefore they can't say it doesn't match the predicted geometric horizon. They're talking a load of crap.
You can't measure a horizon distance measurement.
Well, if you had...
There's no such thing.
Well, not in an atmosphere like that, no. If you were... okay, you're going to have
Why
to...
did you not notice that?
What?
Why did you not notice that within that logical statement?
Well, I did. I said if everything you said was correct, to Mitch this is, when he was doing this Modus tollens, because everything he said was not correct. Because it was talking about a geometric horizon, they did not measure the geometric horizon.
Yeah, you could have just easily said you cannot measure the distance to the horizon.
Well, you could have done, but also I didn't need to. I mean, and the statement, because he was saying it would disprove it being a globe. No, if everything of that had held true, it would have disproved it being a globe with a radius of 3959. Not, as I actually said at the time, the rest of my sentence when I was speaking to them, I said not that it's not a globe. It would still be a globe, but perhaps with a slightly different radius.
Yeah. You give up your radius value.
Yeah, and so they said, he's denied R. No, I just said, if everything you said was correct, then I might be slightly different. And they don't get it. They do not get it. I mean, they could not. I mean, they kept doing that cherry pick misquote, and I got so pissed off about it. Not pissed off as in upset and angry, but pissed off that people could so blatantly misrepresent. Okay, that I offered a challenge, £100 if anyone, and I gave the whole clip where he gave his modus tollens and I gave my answer. There was the whole clip, and I said, "Go on, show me where I said the Earth's not a globe," and not one person was able to do it. Of course, because I didn't say that.
Yeah, it was disproving the radius.
Yes.
That's where the mix-up comes, because it
well, there's no mix-up. You can obviously understand that, Bev. You obviously understand what I'm saying. I understood what I was saying. Everyone else seemed to understand what I was saying. But Oakley, Mitch, and those others either are too dumb to understand a little bit of English, or are just too dumb to understand the concept of that modus tollens. Because that modus tollens would either confirm that the Earth could be a sphere radius 3959, or it would negate the possibility of it being a sphere 3959. Not that it's not a sphere. Yeah. So I don't think we disagree here, Bev. So,
Do you like the modus tollens, though? Do you know, like the logical idea of formulating a modus tollens?
Yeah, but it's got to be used. That sort of thing's got to be used in the right place, hasn't it? And constructed properly, and sort of understood what the result would mean.
There's mutterings at the minute within the community of this new logic, fuzzy logic.
Fuzzy logic's something. I mean, I know nothing really about fuzzy logic, but fuzzy logic's something that's been around a long time. It started to be used in computing with artificial intelligence back in the late 80s. I wasn't involved with it, but in my company there were people who were starting to use that fuzzy logic.
Yeah, it's pretty new. But so the modus tollens, you denied a consequent, right? That's the idea of formulating it. It's a falsification.
Yeah, it's a fancy way of, as you say, formulating something. Is this a ball? Well, if it's got corners, it's not a ball. Oh, I found a corner, therefore it's not a ball. Yeah, great. It has its place. It's not going to solve everything, but it has its place.
No, but that you still go along with the concept of that old classic logic, Aristotelian logic.
Well, did I see that this afternoon you had Bebby? He's that logic guy, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, we didn't have him on. It was an old recording. That was just.
Oh, right. I see.
Yeah.
But yeah. If you want to talk about stuff like that, he's probably the person to talk to. I've not studied logic like that. But
you are Mr. Logic and Cheese.
Yeah, but it's
logic's not computer logic, is it? You're talking like logic for the common man, because that's what we're after.
Well, to be honest, that's probably a fair way of putting it, Bev. Because it's common sense, using common sense. I mean, it's a joke tagline, isn't it? I'm not claiming, hey, I'm a doctor of logic or a professor of logic or something like that. No, but I can follow some logic, like that modus tollens. Unfortunately, those guys who tried employing it with the whole Black Swan BS couldn't even understand what they were. What's the word? The weapon they were wielding. They didn't understand it.
No,
definitely not. Well, it's nice to agree with you, Bev. Anyway.
Well, logic's so common. Like, the idea is that that's the idea of t-shirt logic. What we're doing, like, we just try and simplify stuff from reality, obviously, because logic has a tie in reality, right? There's a close relationship between reality and logic. You can't really do logic. You do it as a thought process, but you do it within the realms of reality. Like, you're never going to end up with a proof if you don't base reality within that logical statement, right?
Well, you
That's
can
the way I
you
look
can
at it.
certainly use it to cut away a lot of the crap to try and leave you with what is true.
Yeah, it gives you a more clarity of thought, right?
Yeah.
It's a process that I don't think a lot of people employ nowadays. There's a lot of could say hard to say like automaton type things, but a lot of people don't actually think about what they're doing, and they just sort of go with the flow without
I think a lot
realizing.
of people go with their really strong bias. I think that's part of why I chose that as a tagline. A lot of these flat earthers, not all of them, but a lot of them, it's religious based. So they'll come up with some possible explanation for the shape of the earth or the universe or the dome or whatever the hell based on their interpretation of their religion, and they've used that as a basis. That's not logical. You know, you have to look at evidence.
Well, I mean, religion isn't really logic, although
No, and I have no
there
idea. I
there
have
is
no idea if
definitely a
you're a
case
religious
to be
person
made.
or not. I've no idea if you're a religious person or not, Bev. And that's not my aim. My aim is not to knock religion per se. I am not a religious person. I am atheist, but I have no problem with people being religious and having a faith. But I have a problem with people ignoring actual evidence, basically denying what their own eyes tell them, just so they can follow a religion or follow some other biased belief that they're basing their channel on or whatever without evidence. And
Do you have proofs?
I'm sorry, say again.
Do you hold proofs? Do you
Hold
have
evidences. Science doesn't deal in proof, does it? So
yeah,
I mean,
reality deals in proofs.
go on.
Logic deals in proofs.
Logic may do. I mean,
Like I say,
with the modus
logic and
tollens,
reality.
with that modus tollens, if it was constructed properly, you said not Q, therefore not P. Therefore, you have proved that P is not.
Yeah, we've been working on one. I'll give it you later. Emma voiced it for us. Modus tollens.
Okay. Concerning what?
Concerning just the modus tollens.
A modus tollens about modus tollens. That would be good.
Well,
I wonder
modus
if you could
tollens
construct a
are
modus
about-
tollens. I wonder if you could construct a modus tollens to disprove that a modus tollens could work.
I doubt it.
That would be an There's a challenge for you, Bev, a friendly challenge. And I suppose if you managed to do it, would the universe blow up? I don't know.
Well, say so. There are proofs, and you can gain proofs, right? Through, but just the statement of a modus tollens is not proof in itself.
I'm sorry. Say again, Bev. I just caught chat caught my eye. I'm going to move it out of the way so it doesn't catch my eye. Say that again.
I say the actual statement is not proof in itself, is it? Now, this was go back to the Black Swan, like the picture that's there. Now, that's not a proof to anybody. Like you can't give somebody a picture as a proof.
No, but they think that picture is the with the modus tollens. You've got a claim and what's the word? A claim and a possible negative evidence. If that negative evidence, then the claim is debunked. And they think that negative evidence, i.e. that photo, debunks the claim. Sorry, I'm going to have to switch off my aircon. The hamsters are going. It will squeak for a little while, sorry. Oh, it stopped.
Right. Well, I forgot where we were. Missy's come in with some fruit.
Some fruit?
Yeah. So we were coming. Oh. Where were we at? Oh, right, Black Swan, right? It's only a proof for the guy that takes the picture. So the quest was to let people know that, you know, if you are after this particular proof of your own, the Black Swan should be for you to go and find somewhere that you could replicate this, right, for yourself, and then you could find your own Black Swan.
Well, that's the whole point.
Message that I got.
Well, it wasn't the message I got, because the whole point is, if a Black Swan has been found, then that disproves the statement of all swans are white.
Yeah, it's the personal thing, though. The proof
it's not a
is
personal
always
thing,
personal.
Is it?
Yeah, you can't mass proof people.
If you said, for instance, all people have 2 legs, I only have to produce a picture of one person with 1 leg or no legs, therefore that claim of all persons have 2 legs is false. And incidentally, it shows on average we've got less than 2 legs. It does.
Yeah, but what if, like, somebody knows somebody that has only got 1 leg?
Exactly. You know,
okay,
like, they happen to have found another Black Swan.
Yeah, well, they have, right? They've got their Black Swan.
Yeah, but they don't need it. They don't need it. If I produce that photo, you may know someone else with 1 leg, but if I show that photo on here, then everybody can see that that's a Black Swan. Therefore, not everyone, even if they don't know anyone with 1 or no legs, they've seen a photo, therefore they now know that not everybody has 2 legs.
Well, like I say, the idea of the proof, to me, is it's a personal thing. You can't hand that proof to anybody. Like, gaining a proof,
no, it's an evidence.
Is a journey that you go on, right?
But the point is, Bev, that photo of a person with 1 leg is an evidence. But that evidence, had you constructed the modus tollens about everyone with 2 legs, disproves that claim of everyone has 2 legs. Job done.
Yeah, but like in the case, let's go with QE's Black Swan, right?
Yeah.
If the Earth is this shape, and then we should only be able to see that far, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I could go to the beach, and I could look over, and I could see an oil rig.
Yeah, you could.
Right, with the horizon past that.
Yeah.
Right, then I could go, well, there's a Black Swan, my Black Swan.
You could.
I've got that.
You could.
Yeah, and DP could do it as well.
Every single person could go and try it. Yeah, absolutely.
So therefore, they've got their own Black Swan.
But they don't need it. They don't need it.
Statement.
They don't need it. I only have to pull up the photo of a person with 1 leg. I have shown to everyone. They could go and test it themselves. Absolutely. But not everybody has to test it. I mean, you think of every scientific test that takes place. Other scientists may try and get those same results, or even try deliberately to see if they can not get those same results. But you don't have to. You can, the evidence is there.
Yeah. Well, that's the idea of the Black Swan. That's why I think, it's been sold to people wrongly, or because, I don't know, people had jumped on the picture or whatever, whether QE was trying to tell people, like, go and find your own Black Swan.
I don't think so at all, Bev. I think he and the others were saying, aha, we have disproven the globe.
You not think you guys have built a straw man around what you think QE might have said?
I don't think so.
Sort of heavy bias that you might have.
Well, no, because they said it's the #1 globe killer. I'd say that was quite a claim.
Yeah, because you just said it alters the radius, quite rightly, right?
Hold on, if everything they said was correct, and it wasn't, but they were using. The only reason I was discussing it with Mitch, I mean, it wasn't the first discussion. Other people had discussed it with QE and the others. That just came up. That was Mitch's evidence for a flat Earth. So he was claiming that showed the Earth was flat. It does nothing of the sort. Even if it disproved Earth being a sphere at all, it doesn't prove it being flat. So they're all they ever do is try and attack the globe. Fair enough, they're allowed to, but they never actually provide positive evidence for it being flat. But in this case, it was a load of shite.
You also now that your model's an oblate spheroid, right?
Yes.
So it doesn't have one radius, does it?
Well, no, but you do know
So,
that.
I mean, there's another quick get out. Woof! It's not just got that one radius. Like,
Yeah, but the difference
that's
is
easy.
the difference. I think is only 13 miles, so 26-mile diameter difference. Something of that order. It's not a lot. And if you scaled the Earth down to a snooker ball size, Earth would be a damn sight smoother than a snooker ball as well.
Yeah,
Scale.
So, I mean, you've always got that little bit of leeway, haven't you, within that argument? Because you've got, like you said, 13 miles anyway.
Oh, I see. You say, well, it's not the 39.59. Whereabouts you measure it? Yes, you could, but I suppose it would be fair enough to say 39.59 average. And the point is, with that 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet, the difference of a radius of just a handful of miles is not really going to make any difference, especially as their photo apparently blew it out the water, enabling us to see many miles further than we should do, because they totally don't understand.
Get the radius?
Sorry?
How did they get the radius?
I don't know where they got that from, but that's not the point. The point was they were trying to use logic, and they were using it in a fallacious way, and they didn't understand what their constructed claim. You know, you could that modus tollens, as I said, could say anything. It could say, as I said, the Earth is made of cheese. It doesn't matter, because the point was, when you operate that modus tollens, you should either come out having negated the claim or not. And they couldn't even understand what the negation of that claim would be. The negation of that claim would be not a sphere radius 39.59. Not that it's not a sphere.
You know, you've got a bit of a leeway there anyway.
Yeah, but even leaving aside, I'm happy to leave aside the leeway. The point was, whatever I said, if I said it was Earth with a radius between 3,900 and 4,000, it doesn't matter. The point was, okay, you would then show with a modus tollens whether it was a radius within that range. If it doesn't appear to be in that range, it still doesn't mean it's not a globe. It just means it's outside that range. So they cannot logic at all. I'm talking about common sense, hold a logically consistent thought in their mind.
How would you get the radius though?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. The point was the claim. It's the logic. The logic they were trying to use was flawed. They were trying to negate it with a dodgy photograph, and even if the dodgy photograph did negate the claim, it still didn't negate what they thought they were negating.
Yeah.
Well, this is
like at the beginning, the P at the beginning.
Sorry, what?
If the Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3959, you don't know that that's real anyway. I mean, that's like could you call that begging the question?
No, because
is he giving you the model that you don't even know? Right?
No, it's not begging. It's not begging the question. It's testing a possible claim, isn't it? Like I said, the possible claim could be the Earth. Sorry, I'm just mucking around. I'm using a tens machine because of a bad back, and it just needed adjusting. It's testing the validity of a claim. That claim could be anything. It doesn't matter. As I said, it could be all people have two legs. Because if the claim was no person has more than two legs, or if some people had, I don't know.
You got a case with people with one leg. What have you got?
Nothing. The problem is neither have they. Boom. You walked into that one, pal. Nothing at all. It could be anything. I just tried to pick something at random. Yeah. Well, actually, Bev, I'm quite enjoying this. And can I give you credit for something, Bev? I want to give you credit for not bringing up that bloody level horizontal thing, okay? So thank you for that. Listen, there's a few people in the live waiting room. Are you okay?
Can I give you this thing?
Oh, this Emma Modus tollens.
Where can I put it?
Oh, I see. You can DM me.
Okay.
Just try that, and then is it something for me to read out?
You can just sort of you don't need to read it out. You can play it. It's
Oh, it's a clip, is it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, if I can get it, I can try. Is it very long?
No, it's about a minute.
Okay.
A bit of a buster on it as well. There you go.
Oh, right. Let's have a look.
Can you get it on screen as well, or?
Oh, it's a video, is it?
Well, yeah. It's a video and a music and the
it's
buster music.
hold on. Is it anything going to be copyright, Bev?
No. All our own stuff. We
Modus
don't touch anybody else's stuff.
It will certainly play. Let's see if it will copy it. Let's see if I can get it up here. Hold on.
Modus tollens.
Okay, right. Window. Let's just try this then. See if it will go. Oh, it wants to open it. Oh, right. It looks like I'm going to have to download it a second. Hold on.
Oh, it's worth
Modus tollens is a logical statement set up in such a way.
Hold on. That's. Oh, bugger. What I want to do is try and drop it onto. Right, let's try.
Modus tollens is a logical statement set up in such a way that the truth of one statement implies the truth of the second. When the second statement, the consequent, is shown to not be true, then the first statement, the antecedent, must also be untrue. T-shirt logic is a way for these simple logical principles to be broken down for ease of understanding. One such example is the modus tollens, which has been developed by the logically minded individuals at the next level Discord server. If the Earth is a spherical object P, then the surface of liquid water at rest must curve Q. A water level is a tool which establishes a horizontal plane of reference, consequently not Q. It is not Q, therefore it cannot be P. Ergo, the Earth cannot be a spherical object.
Well, that was very interesting.
Do you like that?
Well, nice little video. But I'll have to say, you've got a malformed, or Emma has a malformed modus tollens as well. Because I mean, that's based on your sort of water level experiment, and the thing seemed to be missing is that the water levels would remain at the same gravitational equipotential, so those levels would follow the curve. So that you can't use that as a not P.
A horizontal paradox you're going to end up in.
No.
Perpendicular paradox.
No. As we said before, not all verticals are parallel.
That was about horizontals.
Yes, but you said the point is
don't want to get into it,
if you sorry.
He said you don't want to get into it.
No, I don't really want to get into it, but just with regard to that as a modus tollens, the point it is a constructed modus tollens, but it's faulty in that not P doesn't show what she's hoping it will show, or you are hoping you and your group are hoping it will show, because if you imagine you're okay, you've got a water level, like a spirit level, that sort of thing, but if you just used a trough of water a mile long, it will follow the curve of the Earth, the surface. So
like a canal.
Yes, like a canal, because it all has the same gravitational equipotential. Yeah. Well, look, should we get a few people? We've got a few people here in the waiting room. So, are you up for having a chat? Chat? Okay.
Yeah,
I haven't looked, but I'll just see if I've got Oh, right. I will read this. I had a super chat from Bjorn Kamitz for 100 Swedish kronor saying, no need to read this, just glad to hang around for a while. Well, thank you very much, Bjorn. I read it anyway, sir. Appreciate that. Okay, let's give them a little bit of warning, just so they know they might get pulled in. And I'll tell you what, Bev, since you are the guest, I'll let you choose a couple. We'll get a couple of those. Do you see the names above you in the live waiting room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know any of them.
Okay.
Oh, I know SE.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. If we
Come
get
on,
SE in,
SE.
then if we get SE in, fair enough. We can do that. I'll pull in Mr. 42. So SE and 42. Does that sound good?
Oh, we teaming up.
Yeah. Well, that's right. That's right.
Get SE in.
Yeah. Well, I have spoken to SE before. Was it on? Well, it was on Next Level, but I'd spoken to him elsewhere as well, and I had no problems with SE, and I hope it will be the same. No problems again. We're just having a nice chat, and that's cool. Okay, right. Let's bring him in. So we'll bring in Mr. 42. You're on the stream, and SE Montreal. SE Montreal, you're on the stream too. Good evening to both of you.
Hello. Are you sure this is a good idea?
Oh no, I'm not sure. 42. It looks like you're next to SE Montreal. I'm next to Bev. Oh, SE Montreal. Your guy ran away again, Bev. Not my fault. Not my doing.
I think he had trouble getting in here last time, or
did he? Do you know that has been the case with one or two people before now?
Was it over here? I think it was over here, wasn't it?
It might have been.
Some other time.
I don't know. But from time to time, there are some people. It seems to have a problem getting.
Mobile or something.
It could be. He's disappeared. He's disappeared from the waiting room as well.
Maybe he's trying to reconnect.
Yeah.
It could be. Either that, Bev, or we scared him off, mate.
No.
Yeah.
No. He is not easily scared. That is not true. That is not true.
So, how are you, 42?
I'm good, thank you very much.
Good. Any thoughts on what Bev was saying?
There's a lot of thoughts, but I'm not sure if I can put that into words right now.
You're allowed to disagree if that's what you're worried about. You're allowed to disagree with Bev.
Yeah. There is some stuff that we can agree on. Hang on, my daughter is being overly active right now. Alessia.
Well, I'll say second best Bob, member for 19 months, free member super chat saying, don't read this. Sorry, second best Bob. I'll try harder next time. Thanks, pal.
What I'm very, very happy about is that we finally figured out. Now I have 12. I cannot call Bev a flat earther because he wants many. How do you want to be called in a certain way, Bev?
Not call me Bev.
Yeah, but I mean the group.
So you're not a globie.
No.
Bev.
What did Emma call them? Excellent people.
Okay. The excellent people. One of the excellent people now finally can agree that the DP from that you had in that debate before is not what they claimed it was, or how they misrepresent you, Mr. Sensible. So that is a good step. That is a good step.
Yeah. Well, I think we had agreement there, Bev. That their modus tollens was a load of crap.
It was playing to you guys. I think it was all your guys' numbers, right? And for you guys to not like it, and it's obvious because you can't measure a distance to the horizon, and you don't know where R came from.
Well, I think Bev, they really have no idea that they'll grasp at anything. That latest thing being sextant, saying that they can't work on a globe, can only work on a flat Earth. In fact, it's the other way round. And they've had it pointed out to them. Wolfie 6020 offered them quite a lot of money to. Wasn't it Wolfie 602042 offered them money to? Someone did anyway to use a sextant and they just won't because it can't. The sextant requires it to be a globe. A sextant is based on globe mathematics, and the almanac is based on globe mathematics.
The magic book might be based on.
What do you mean?
On magic.
Oh, hold on.
Sextant just measures angles.
Right, I'm going to. I do apologise, Bev. I'm going to read out two super chats. One from the Elmigs for €2 saying nee. But another one, Busters, just super chatted $2 saying Al Bundy is doxing in your chat. I don't know the name Al Bundy. Doxing is not acceptable against either. Well, against anyone, either anyone who's come over here on Bev's crew or anyone who's here on as one of my viewers or subscribers. No doxing Al Bundy.
I timed him out. I saw it happen now.
Okay, thank you. I didn't see it. So Al Bundy, Al Bundy. If you want to stay, you won't do anything like that. You try anything along the lines of doxing, I'll get you booted. Okay, I don't like doing that. I have no idea who you are, whether you're Globe or otherwise, but no doxing. Sorry, Bev, you were just saying.
I don't know.
What were we saying, 42? Oh, by the way, what's his name? SE Montreal did turn up again. I brought him into live and he's disappeared again, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It could be connection problems. Apparently, Al Bundy was timed out by knob sockets for 300 seconds.
Yeah, that is Nimrod.
Oh dear. We were just saying. Well, what were we saying? 42. We were saying that we were.
About the DMP, but that kind of went off in the other direction than I expected, because it was not about the arguments. That is something we can still disagree on, but that the conclusion was incorrect and you were misquoted all the time.
Yes.
And Bev is at least able to put that into perspective from the in a correct conclusion.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I can't remember. I'd have to review what was actually said.
Yeah, but you said
if over that. Because I can remember
if those
you
are
had
the
to
ifs.
go with Sleeping Warrior, right? Mm-hmm. I think.
I meant to say, Bev, that you say if those are the ifs, then that conclusion is wrong. That doesn't mean that you agree with that conclusion. I do not try to put words in your mouth. But you did that correctly.
I would say, Bev, that if I felt that someone was putting words into your mouth, deliberately misquoting you. I'm not talking about where someone does something comedic. Just some joke video, but where someone seriously takes part of something you said and then basically twists it by cherry picking from part of a sentence. That's not on. It isn't on. It doesn't matter who it is, and that's what they were doing to me. When this Al Bundy turns up, if he's still trying to dox, please, moderator, time him or block him. Yep. Okay. It's not acceptable. Not acceptable at all.
Absolutely not. No.
Okay, because he's currently timed out, I can't see him to actually do anything about him. So we'll let that timeout run and then take it from there. And Mr. E-Man has just super chatted $2 Australian, saying a session of rational and sensible thinking. Well, there you go. If I'm sensible, Bev, they're saying you're rational.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it? It's not like what they were saying about you before you came on. Oh, did I say that out loud? Well, I must admit, I quite enjoyed that, Bev, because I didn't know, I'll be honest, I didn't really know. You said when we talked about this, was it about a week ago, and we said about doing this, or maybe a few days less, I wasn't really sure where you were wanting to go with this, other than it basically being around the Black Swan. But I have quite enjoyed this.
Yeah, we could go way deeper. We do go way deeper into this. Do you know where the 1.22 came from?
Well, that's geometric calculation, isn't it? Based on a certain radius.
How?
What do you mean, how? Mathematics. Geometry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1.22 times the square root of the height of the observer.
Yes.
How did you know how that mathematical formula works and how it come to be?
Well, I don't know who constructed it, but I've got to be honest and say I'm not that. I'm being honest. I'm not that desperately interested in it. What?
It's pretty boring.
Well, my whole shtick is flat Earth is absolutely and quite obviously a right load of crap, and it's fun breaking down people's arguments when they try and defend it. It's enjoyable, and as part of that, finding ways to bust it, because some of their arguments can be quite interesting at face value, or make you think, hold on, well, is that the case? So then you start to find out. I've learnt so much just by doing debunking?
I've learnt loads from everybody that I've talked to.
That's nice. That's good. That's good,
Even
isn't
from me, Bev.
Yeah.
it? Oh, it's a
Yeah,
shame
you
that
always learn something from everyone you talk to, right? You have to.
you can. Yeah. Wow, Bev, you're soon going to get yourself a reputation for being slightly reasonable if you carry on like this.
Always been like this. I've never been any different.
I haven't had a problem. We've spoken. You came on here a long time ago, and we had a chat or a debate, and then I've been on the next level server a couple times. I've never had any problems with you. We've always spoken civilly to each other, haven't we?
I see Ezzy Sensible is back in the waiting room. If you want to try again.
Okay, SC Montreal. Oh no, he's just gone away again. He's
here.
Colon's moved him over. Hello, SC. Are you in here? He's gone mute.
Yes, I am. Good evening.
There we
Good.
go.
Success. How are you?
Today. You were
I'm
ganging
very
up
good.
on
How's
me,
everybody
Essie.
doing?
Yeah, not so bad. Not so bad. Yeah, like Bev was saying, me and Mr. 42 were just sticking the boot into Bev and giving him a good kick in, but now you're here. How are you?
True.
Is that so, Mr. 42?
No, he's exaggerating.
So what were your thoughts on the discussion earlier, SE?
Interesting topic. I was listening. I thought I'd drop in.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. As I said before I brought you in the first time, we've now spoken a couple of times and I've had no issues with you either.
Absolutely. Why should we have issues? Yeah. I mean,
No, not at all.
both
Not at all.
gentlemen?
We can disagree. We can disagree. That's fine.
Absolutely.
It's quite interesting. I seem to get on with people like yourself, like Bev, like several others. I seem to get on with you guys a lot better than some other globe side people do. I'm not knocking them. I don't know why it is. I don't know, but it's quite good because I get to speak to people who perhaps can't get a platform on other globe side streams.
Find that remarkable myself because we have other people that we've been talking to for years, and they seem to all of a sudden not want to talk with us. It seems strange, like Blue and Bob, and just to mention a few.
Well,
Seems like the
I have
conversation
no,
has ended with
I have no ideas. What? Oh, right. Hold on. I just say, Al Bundy. I see you're there. Okay. You have had every last warning. Okay.
Oh,
you are
sorry,
welcome to.
I just removed him totally before you said it.
Right. Okay.
He was warned already. That was fair enough.
Oh, right. They've asked me to turn up your volume, SE. Can you just say something else, SE?
How's that? Is that better?
Try again.
Testing.
And again.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Well, you're on pretty much as loud as I can make it. So we'll have to go with that. You're on maximum right now. There we go. Oh, and apparently it's because I'm a proper grown-up person. That's why we can all get on. That's nice, isn't it? So yeah. So Essie was saying, what do you think about the discussion myself and Bev were having? You said it was quite interesting. I agree. I thought it was quite interesting.
Yeah. I listened to some of it. I was mostly in the chat, to be honest with you, so I didn't get the full thing. But yeah, I heard what you guys said about the logic and the issues that you have with it. Yeah. Personally, what I think about the Black Swan is it's a picture, and a picture can be subject to interpretation. Now, the only thing I'll say to that is this. The rig is in a fixed location. So I'll say one thing. The horizon, the 3959, bye-bye Charlie. That's what I'll say.
I'm not quite sure what you mean by the bye-bye Charlie.
Well, clearly, the horizon is behind the oil rig.
Oh yeah, you can see it in that photo that I'm showing now.
And clearly that oil rig is in a fixed position. It can't move back and forth.
Yep.
Unless you can give me some refraction that does that. So, at the very least, the 3959 is dead.
No.
That's about the best I can say
No.
for this.
No. That but look at the two images there. That they are both the same platform. The one is obviously a very clear image taken from close by, so you can see exactly what the platform looks like. Now look on the left-hand side. That's from the Black Swan video. You can see how it is distorted to buggery. Look at the, I don't know what you call it, the crew quarters with a helipad on top on the right-hand side of it. With the right-hand image, it's fairly like a square. On the left one, it's a very definite rectangle, vertical, because it's loomed up. It's twisted. It's what's the word? Sorry, occasionally words just slip my mind. Distorted like crazy.
What would you say? But can you give me the refracted index that moves the horizon back?
I
Can you name that for me, please?
Can I name it? It's not. How about having a look at this? Sorry, I'm just moving screens around. This is Walter Bislin's page. Those are the two photos. The one on the right is are the two platforms as seen most days, with the further platform habitat half hidden behind that horizon. The one on the left is imagery taken from the Black Swan. That is Walter Bislin's simulator with refractive indexes. We got the same thing. On the right is with the standard refraction, which matches the photo on the right. The one on the left is with terrible refraction and matches the Black Swan. Look at the curve of that crane on the left-hand side. Now look on the simulation.
It's not proof of anything. It's just a picture.
No.
That's why this argument leaves people like yourself. Gives them an opening. That's Bev's major issue with this. One of them.
Let me show you this.
I have to agree with that.
This is the simulator. Both images are showing that both platforms with standard refraction on a globe. I will change the left one. Hold on. This is calculating it right now. That is applying dreadful refraction. Oh, look, it matches the Black Swan. That is.
So tell me what you think that proves to you. What does that
and
prove to
this is those are the refracted light rays that produce that image. Look how it's bent and twisted. With standard refraction on the right, there you go. Can you not see that those bent light rays, because of the temperature gradient that's been applied to this simulator, that's what gives you an image like that on the left, which happens to match the Black Swan one. And incidentally, if you went back to standard refraction and made it a flat Earth, this is what you'd see. You would actually see more than you would do with the Black Swan. So basically, it's failed.
So now you have a computer thing that shows this, or rather that means absolutely nothing. With all due respect.
Well, then you're going to deny refraction. Refraction is really well known.
Globe?
Sorry, say again, pal. I missed what you said. Say again.
I'm saying, what exactly are you saying? I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Are you saying this proves a globe? That there's a curve there? That there's a drop there?
I am saying, right. That image on the right, that's applying standard refraction to two platforms at those distances. And that simulation matches the actual real photo.
Okay, and what does that mean in your head? What does that mean?
Well, it means that model, that refraction model, is obviously good. By applying standard refraction, you end up with a computer-generated image which happens to match reality. If you apply, let's go back to, if you apply this dreadful refractive index, producing that image there on the left, that happens to match the Black Swan image, i.e., that refraction that's produced that image is absolutely horrendous. It's bent and twisted to buggery.
Okay, so in your mind, I want to get this straight now. In your mind, the picture that you brought up before, with
Which?
the two different old platforms, the one on the right.
This one
right?
here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You're saying that that is what we see in most days, and
Yes.
the one on the left is the one that we don't see in most days, correct?
That is even the text on the original video.
Hold on 1 second. Because that is what he says on his video. Once in a while, not very often, there will be days when conditions are right to see the full image. That full image being the Black Swan one. That is on BLMS's video. So, 10 out of 10 10 out of 10 for his honesty for actually saying that.
Yeah. So understood. So then we can both agree these are both visual effects, right?
Actually, yes. This is an extreme visual effect. This is a visual effect that you'll see most days. If you go back to the simulator, let me just switch them both back to images. You can actually, we're looking at the image on the right. That's the same as this is what you see most days. If you apply zero refraction, i.e. if we didn't have an atmosphere, that is what, it's still generating now, but that is what you'd see. So actually, if I make them both, so we've got standard on the left and zero on the right. So the one on the left is what we see most days. The one on the right is what we would see if we did not have refraction, if we did not have an atmosphere.
Understood.
There's not that much difference, but there is a difference.
Okay, bring up the good one on the clear day, the one that you think always should appear. Bring up that one if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's appearing on the right now. So I'm going to.
Can we agree that one of those is actually a Black Swan, though, according to the logic, right? Like, if you set it up like it is going to be a Black Swan, like all of these horizons should be white swans, right?
Yeah.
Then one of those is definitely the Black Swan, right?
Absolutely.
You can't get around that, can you?
No, I don't know quite what you're saying. Because the Black Swan, as it appears on this left-hand simulation or in this left-hand picture, is something that can occur. It's not changing this.
Would still be a Black Swan within the way the logical.
All it's saying is refraction is a thing, and at its extremes, it can look like this. Whoa! Mm-hmm. And on an extreme, i.e., once in a while, it does look like that. Yeah, therefore, they've proved nothing about the radius of the Earth.
Yeah, what you guys have done have took it away from the geometry, which is the actual Modus tollens is set up around the geometric principles of a presupposed spherical object.
Yeah, but Bev,
and you guys have took it away from that and put it into the picture realm and the optics.
But Bev, we didn't do that. We didn't do that. The Modus tollens that QE, or at least the Modus tollens I saw that Mitch was using, and I believe is the one that QE said, it said then every geometric horizon must be no further than. Absolutely. Geometric. And then what did they do? They didn't show us a geometric horizon. They didn't measure a geometric horizon some way. They showed us a single photograph of an apparent horizon under extreme refractive conditions. So they set it up quite correctly. With a radius of this, the geometry should be that. And then they didn't show us any geometry.
Short interruption, Mr. Sensible.
Please.
Colin asked me if you need to check your DM.
Oh, okay. 1 second, I shall do that.
Well, you see, I put a picture in about the Black Swan that we got when DP came down to the beach. So, it's no big deal because it's just our Black Swan, right? We were the ones that took the picture that showed the horizon behind the oil rig. No big deal.
Sorry, I was looking at this DM, Bev.
No problem.
It looks like we've got a few more people. Oh, this is interesting. We've got a couple more people we could bring in.
That's nice.
And I'd keep it fair.
SE's too powerful. You can bring as many people as you want. I've got SE here now.
No, SE's been all right. We've been having a chat. But we've got Kyle Adams, who was on last night. Kyle Adams from the Flat Earth Institute of Science is here. and could pick some. Have you met Kyle or spoken to Kyle?
No, I don't know.
All right.
I think so.
Well, let's bring in Kyle. You're on the stream again, and
Good evening, Kyle.
let's bring in.
Oh,
Hello, Kyle. 2 nights on the trot, eh? You must be a glutton for punishment. And
well, you're talking about the Black Swan, and I just had to bring up the. Yeah, I just had some stuff to say because I was listening to you.
Okay.
There. So, with the Black Swan, can we agree that downward refraction can cause the horizon to appear higher than the non-refracted image?
well,
we agree on-
it gives you an apparent. I mean, when you look, all you ever see is the apparent horizon.
Okay, but does downward refraction cause it to appear higher or lower in your understanding?
In my understanding, I think it makes it appear higher, doesn't it? Because the curve is curving up and over and down towards you, so then you're looking up that curve. So yeah, it lifts it. I believe it's that way round, but I don't think that's
I
the
believe that is also correct.
And
Yeah.
here we
And that
got
was what-
Ellen
what
of
point-
Cyrene. Good evening to you as well, Ellen.
This is also Brenda.
Brenda, yeah.
Yes, so it doesn't matter either one. It's fine.
That's something we can establish as common ground between me and you, because that is the very first thing I pointed out in the fish tank laser experiment, that downward refraction caused the entire boat in the experiment to appear higher, as well as the entire horizon. So here you're talking about the Black Swan image, right? And with the Black Swan image, I've noticed that when you've got them side by side there, you can see the horizon at the same level in each picture. And so how do you know, like
Right.
which one is higher and which one's lower here? Because
Right.
I
Let
think
me just go.
that's-
Kyle, I'm calling it back up again. Do you mean those 2 photos there?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
see the horizon.
Yeah. Well,
which-
I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't worry about it. That is tilt of the camera. So it's not whether that line of the horizon is further up the screen or not, but it's how that line of the horizon compares to the platforms. On the right-hand
Yes.
one, the horizon is in front. On the left-hand picture, it's obviously way beyond.
that's what I tried to bring up yesterday, is kind of your lack of a control image here, is because if the camera's tilting up and down, we can't see which horizon appears higher and which one appears lower. And so that's kind of why I point to the skunk bait horizon image, because
There's your control image. There's your control image.
Can I just nip in and say I'm going to have to go. I'll catch you some other time, Kyle. And nice to talk to you, Sensible.
Okay, thank you, Bev. I appreciate the nice discussion we've had this evening.
Okay, right. I'll catch you again. Any other time we'll have to do this again.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, take care, pal. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening. Bye, Bev.
So Mr. Sensible.
Well, gentlemen, so I'll say good night as well.
You're all running off. Okay, thanks, Essie.
Okay.
Thank
Good
you.
night, Montreal.
All right, good night.
So Mr.
Some other
Sensible.
time, Sensible. Don't worry.
Yeah, another time, Essie. Yeah, in fact, I don't know if you'd be interested, but perhaps we could hook up sometime in chat and maybe arrange a one-on-one discussion or debate between you and I.
Absolutely, we can do that for sure.
Okay, you take care. Have a good weekend.
Oh, good night, everybody.
So if
I'd
that's
be
the
open.
control-
I'd be open to Mr. Sensible moderating debates also.
I'm quite happy to do that. Have you got a potential debate in mind then, Brenda?
Oh, I would debate just about any flat earther, including Bev.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm not going to arrange debates for people, but if you've
Right.
got if you've hooked up with someone and one of you has issued a challenge and you want
Cool.
to debate, then I'm totally up for being a host. That's never a problem.
Cool.
But I will be, because it's only fair, I would be scrupulously neutral, even if I was grinding my gears about what was being said.
I believe you.
Yeah, well, it's only fair, isn't it? You know, if you abuse that position as a host, and then you'd never be asked to moderate a debate again. So, but yeah, I'm happy to do
Yeah.
it.
So Kyle, do you know why the Black Swan argument is fallacious?
I've never heard that it's fallacious, because it depends on argument it is. What are you quoting here? You're just saying the Black Swan argument, and so you've got to be more specific as to what that argument is. Before you
As
can
presented by Quantum Eraser and Nathan Oakley.
I don't know. You'd have to be. I need a direct quote here because we can have different understandings of it, and so I have my own understanding of the Black Swan, and that is that Black Swan is so potent because it allows you to see farther than you can actually see, like under normal conditions, and that is support for the flat Earth.
Well, the argument is fallacious because it is a straw man fallacy in addition to being an equivocation fallacy.
Who's being misrepresented?
The claims of the globe are the globe model is being misrepresented.
Oh, okay. So so you're saying that Nathan Oakley, I don't think he was even the first person to bring this up. I think it's Mark Sargent was the first person to bring up the Black Swan. He did that one before Nathan Oakley did.
I've heard it most from Oakley and Quantum Eraser. So their claim...
They might be blowing their horn the loudest, but that doesn't mean they're the first to blow the horn. So,
I don't care.
Okay.
So their first premise is that the geometric horizon on a globe model can be no more than 1.22 times the observer's height, right? And that is false.
Geometric is not correct. Visually, you mean?
The globe model says that the geometric horizon, that horizons can be no less than 1.22 times the observer's height to the sea level. And secondly, it commits the equivocation fallacy because the first premise is about the geometric horizon, and the second is about the apparent horizon. They are two different things, so it equivocates between two different senses of the word horizon. Therefore, it commits the equivocation fallacy. Therefore, the argument is fallacious and can be rejected.
Okay, I'm just looking at the definition of horizon, and it doesn't really break that down into the dictionary. I'm sorry.
No,
apparent
there's
horizon.
lots of different horizons, Carl, because there's the apparent, there's the geometric, there's radio horizons, there's lots. But basically, if the Earth is a ball, there is a geometric point beyond which you can't see because the surface curves away from you. That's the geometric horizon. As soon as you stick an atmosphere there, it's like, it's lensing the air so that it's moving things. Therefore, you cannot see that geometric horizon. Simple as that. Modus tollens employed the distance to that geometric horizon, correct. And then you're looking at an optical, and not just an optical, but a very distorted optical image.
And breaking out the different kinds of horizons is kind of moving the goalposts here, just because the original argument was just one horizon. That's all it talked about.
But that is already a straw man written.
We acknowledge. So I did a video about this myself, about how the Earth curvature calculator is wrong, and I went out and explained why it was wrong. And
but your
problem with it was it just did not acknowledge the fact that the Earth had an atmosphere, and the atmosphere can affect how far away the horizon appears to be.
Well, there is more than one Earth curve calculator. My understanding is one doesn't and one does.
You're just denying the fact that we live in an atmospheric environment.
No. So the argument is formally invalid because it commits a logical fallacy. It is formally invalid.
Okay, so
second best Bob is super. Second best Bob is super chatted. Hold on a second, Carl. You will be able to go then. Second best Bob has just super chatted £5 saying, "I'm looking after my friend's 12-year-old son right now. He thinks it's hilarious that people think the Earth is flat." Well, if your friend's 12-year-old son is watching right now, Bob, good evening to you. Whatever your name is. Yeah, carry on then, Carl.
Okay. So you're saying that my claim is fallacious because my claim is that we live in an atmospheric environment.
And nobody doubts that we have an atmosphere, dude.
Those were my direct words, is that we live in an atmospheric environment that affects how far away the horizon appears to be. And you called that claim fallacious, did you
No,
not?
I'm calling the Black Swan argument as presented by Quantum Eraser and Nathan Oakley as fallacious.
Okay, so
It's basically it's malformed, Kyle. That claim is malformed.
Right,
Okay,
because the first premise talks about the geometric horizon, and the second premise talks about the apparent horizon. They are different things.
and the original Black Swan thing, it never broke down all these other things. Those are all kind of trying to move the goalposts from the original
Right.
argument.
That would still be equivocating. Because
Equivocating.
yes, because you're not making it clear which one you're talking about.
That's because there's only one definition in the dictionary.
That's
There's
false.
only one
That's
horizon.
false. No, that's false. There are
Okay,
several.
Please feel free to go ahead and read off these different definitions in the dictionary, because my dictionary only has one definition. I can
Yeah.
read that to you.
Well, I go to Andrew Thomas Young, the acknowledged expert in the field, acknowledged by Quantum Eraser and Nathan Oakley as the expert in the field. Andrew Thomas Young, in his glossary, has 3 different horizons: the apparent, and the geometric, and the astronomical or celestial.
Which dictionary is this?
This is not a dictionary.
Oh, okay. So you're making up definitions and expecting.
Yeah, but
No, this is-
scientific definitions can be different, Kyle.
Okay. Well, you're not quoting from a dictionary here.
Yeah,
You're
we
just-
don't. Dictionaries aren't Bibles, Kyle. Dictionary is not a
They
Bible.
are the means by which we determine what.
No, they are
English
not.
language
They are
means.
not. They're not.
What they're invented for. So
And it
we
also
can-
depends on the quality of the
that's all.
dictionary, because we've seen no end of people say, "Oh, it's just a theory, some sort of hunch or a guess or some sort of vague idea." But scientifically, that is not what a theory is. But the point is,
theory has
Kyle,
a
if you have
definition,
an object and then you look through it through a distorting lens, you aren't going to see exactly the true shape and position of that object. That's all we're saying. Earth is a geometric object. The modus tollens is claiming something about the geometric properties of that geometric object, but is then looking at it optically. Well, you're not going to see the geometry because you're looking at it optically through a distorted atmosphere. So that's what Brenda was saying. It's fallacious. It's badly formed. It's not valid. It's set up a test. If P then Q, but then it's not testing Q. It's looking at something else. So therefore, you can't do the not P part of it. It's malformed. So that's why I said to Mitch that time, if everything you said it was correct, and it isn't, then at best you would have disproved the radius, not that it's not a globe. It's malformed. The logic doesn't hold. I've had a couple more super chats. One's actually, two of them to you, Kyle. First from Alison for $5 Australian, asking the part of my question that Carl avoided yesterday. Why do I have to account for the globe whenever I want to calculate my flight distances? Yeah, because airline pilots do use globe maths. Is it Haversine? I think it's called Haversine formula.
Are you talking about like watching your flight tracker on a computer? Kind of. Oh, my computer said so, therefore it must be true.
No, you can do this on paper to calculate the distance from A to B for a flight, or so long distance.
If you
using coordinates.
if you add up the distances to flights, say from New York to London to Sydney to I forget where in South America, if you add up those distances, they don't fit on a flat surface. They can only fit on a globe.
And then, of course, you've got those.
That's because you're not taking the jet streams into account.
No, it's the distances, not the times.
But also,
I understand that the flat Earth map, it looks a lot different than a globe does. And I understand that there's a different amount of actual distance, but this is about kind of speed, how fast a plane is moving. Are you saying?
No, we're not talking about speed. We're talking about distance. You can figure
We're talking about
distance.
how long it takes from it to go to point A to point B.
No,
right?
we're talking about the distance from point A to point B.
Okay, how is that distance determined?
It's speed times speed times time, right?
Okay, so it is about speed, right?
No, it's about distance.
You just said it was.
I know, but that's just one of the variables. What are you talking
Okay, well,
about?
You're
You're talking about the wrong side of the equation. The wrong side of the equation.
It's part of the equation.
Speed
isn't it?
times distance, times time would be distance, right? You're talking about the left-hand side of the equation. I'm talking about the right-hand side.
It's all part of the same equation.
So what?
Okay, so I'm telling you that you've got to take everything into account here, and you're not. You have totally ignored the factors that speed it up. And so if under
When
normal
calculating the distance from, say, New York to London to Sydney, no, you're not misplacing the speed. You're using the speed to calculate the distance, right? Isn't that how it works, Mr. Sensible?
Well, I'm
Am
not,
I wrong?
No, I don't think so. But also, even leaving things like that aside, with a sphere cut, Kyle, you can leave a start point, travel a certain distance, turn 90 degrees, travel that a certain distance, turn 90 degrees, and get back to where you came from. How can you do that on a flat surface?
How do you walk around in a circle on a flat surface?
No, not going in a circle. If you started flying from the pole and headed south until you reached the equator, turned 90 degrees to the east, travelled along, well, in fact, would it be any distance? But then if you turn 90 degrees, you get back to where you started, at the pole again. You couldn't do that on a flat Earth.
I'm kind of
Yeah, we'll go.
thinking about what...
Right, well, I will read. I've got a couple more. We can carry on about flight distances.
Visualize that.
And check your DM again, Mr. S.
Okay, I will do. I've got another super chat from Mr. E-Man for $5 Australian. Can Kyle explain how one observation debunks the observations under standard conditions? Yeah, so that again with this Black Swan, that even the original video says on very rare occasions. So on this particular rare occasion, we're able to get this Black Swan image. So how on earth can that debunk what you see every other day under normal conditions?
As I said, we don't have enough footage to really verify. You're trusting them here, are you not? When they say on very rare occasions?
Yeah,
So
but
how
it's
do you know that it really is on very rare occasions?
because he's not a globe earther. So he would be saying, if anything, he's more likely to say, normally you see this, normally you see beyond platform so and so, and it's only on odd occasions where you can't, and the horizon's in front. No, the horizon is in front nearly every day, and it's only when you've got extreme refraction that distorts everything like crazy, then you can see beyond it. If you compare the two images, one with everything on the platform distorted, one with everything looking exactly as it looks if you were right next to the darn thing, which photo are you going to trust?
Right now, you're making a huge statement based on the claim that distortion equals refraction. Okay, and that's not necessarily the case. I brought this up yesterday about the goldfish. Glasses work because it helps make an image clearer, other than more distorted.
Well, there you go. There is the close-up, and there is the Black Swan. Look at the shape of look at the shape of those offices or that block. Look at the shape of those offices or the block on the right-hand side with the helipad. I assume it's a helipad on top. Now look at it on the left. It's all distorted. It's loomed upwards. You know that's the distorted one because look at the cranes. Compare the cranes. On this one, they're straight, just as they would be if you were looking at it from 100 feet away or whatever. Look at that one on the left. Not only is it distorted, it's actually got a sort of double image to it. You can't say that is normal.
Acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Okay, but just because it's distorted doesn't mean it's got more downward refraction taking place there.
It means it's refracted. It means that whatever has happened to it to cause it to look like that, it shows that it's not. It shows that it's distorted because it's not as it appears if you're near it.
Yes, I agree that it is distorted.
Okay.
That's common ground.
I'm going to step out and let somebody else come in. Thank you for letting me in, Mr.
Oh,
Sensible.
you're very welcome.
And thank you, Kyle. Maybe sometime we can get together.
Okay, I'd look forward to that.
Okay, thank you, Brenda. Yeah, let's get. I'll tell you what. Kyle and Mr. 42 each choose one person from those in the room above, and we'll bring them in. And how are we for time? I've got about 25 minutes before I'm going to need to. Pardon me. Before I'm going to need to go, I've got a couple more super chats. Oh, from Sven Grimson for 750 isks. I'm not sure what an isk is, but thank you very much for them. And I've got 750 of them now. Thank you, Sven. Says, I'm a software engineer. Modus tollens applies to Boolean logic. No room for ambiguity. Which doesn't exist in real life. That's right. As I said to Bev, it has its place, but it's not applicable under all circumstances to use modus tollens. And it's certainly not applicable to misuse it and then misunderstand the results and misunderstand what you would have been able to deduce if you had employed it properly. All of which were fails by QE, questionable education, Mitchell from Australia, and Nathan Purple Toy Oakley. And Alison has super chatted again, $5 Australian, saying, how do I get my flight time before the flight? Oh, right, I need to calculate my distances first, then I can use that to calculate the rest. Have we lost someone?
I don't think so.
No?
Still here.
Yeah, you're both still here. Let's get this person in.
Yes, I think I know who you mean.
Oh, do you?
I want to make that interesting as well. If we are on the same page.
Right, well, let's see. This is someone I haven't spoken to before. So, good evening.
Yes, exactly.
Good evening, FE Pilot.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry, I stepped in here. I was in a conversation in your waiting room. I got a little bit taken by surprise, but I'm here now.
That often happens, but obviously I don't know what's happening in the waiting room. If you're in a waiting room, you always could be dragged in mid-sentence. It happens from time to time, doesn't it, Mr. 42?
It doesn't. It does happen regularly.
Yes.
Even.
So, FE Pilot, am I to take it that you are a pilot?
I am a pilot, but I'm not Flat Earth. It's just
Right.
FE, not Flat Earth.
Right.
It's actually Globe Pilot.
Okay.
Sorry for any disappointment.
Well, you sound then someone much better placed to discuss flight times and distances and whether it's possible on the globe and versus a flat Earth with Kyle than I am. So I don't know if you caught that early bit of conversation.
Unfortunately, I didn't. I was enjoying your waiting room area. So I'm a bit out.
Yes, the drinks is lovely in there, aren't they? Oh, you didn't have a drink? Oh, never mind. Maybe another time.
No, just lovely conversation. Some really good stories from your guests.
Good. Well, what was it Brenda had brought up, Kyle 42. Brenda had said about it was a super chat, wasn't it? Super chat. Oh, it's from Alison as well, saying, why do I have to account for the globe whenever I want to calculate my flight distances? So do you have to calculate flight plans and that, Effie?
Actually, I do not. That's all done by the dispatching department.
Ah!
But I do have an app with me, which is called the JEP FD Pro. I believe that's what they call it.
Right.
And what that does, if we have to make a diversion or we need any navigation information on the go, we can reference this app. And the funny thing about this, it's you can zoom in, you can zoom out, and as I zoom out, it reveals the shape of a globe.
Okay, although to be fair, no matter what the maths are used inside, it could potentially depict it as any shape.
That's true. I suppose it could, but I think they're trying to give us accurate pictures possible.
I'm sure. But if someone, what, my YouTube, I've just realised what's happened. The YouTube view account is showing 1.
Oh, that would be me then, but I'm sure that's not correct.
That's really odd.
That is odd. The reality says 181.
181. It's showing 1.
There it is. It's back.
It's showing 181 on my
181
OBS.
on screen now.
Is it? How weird.
It has corrected itself.
Yes. Really odd. Well, before everything goes head over heels, I will read the couple of others that are there. Bjorn Kamit says, I have 5 minutes, then I'm off to the pub. Great to see you again, Mr. S, and the chat too. That was 50 kroner. Thank you very much, Bjorn. Good to see you. And Jeff C. super chatted $5 Canadian, saying that Inuit in the Canadian High North use refraction to track caribou herds. The herds are over the horizon, but you can see them just over the horizon. Well, I never. That's something to look into. I've never heard of that before. Hello? Am I the only one in here?
No, you're
not. We're still here.
I've got nothing from chat, and my YouTube channel was showing 1. I think it's just me.
I had a little discussion with my daughter that she needs to be quiet. She didn't agree, so I had a little argument with it. I didn't want to put on YouTube.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. I'll clip it and show it later. That's okay. So I have. It's showing 1 again. YouTube's behaving funny. Can you see that, Kyle and Effie?
I see still 183 in Discord.
There's obviously something weird happening.
My YouTube is showing 180.
And that's what it's showing on OBS and therefore on Discord.
In Discord it says 183. I'm not sure what the problem is. What do you see then?
Yeah, it's now showing 183. It's showing 183 on the YouTube screen, but just above the description it's saying 1. Obviously YouTube screwed up, but no change there then. And I just see Brian Leake, he's popped in chat, said you would love to join. Well, thank you, Brian. Probably not worth it tonight because I'll be winding up shortly. By all means, drop me a line and perhaps we can organise a live stream. I'd be up for that, to have a chat or a debate. And good. Oh, Blue Marble saying, did YouTube kill the audio? Oh, and Tony Regime says it keeps flipping between 1 and 181. I think YouTube's about to collapse.
Yeah, but the audio is more serious.
If the audio is going, although I wonder if it was just when I spoke and then none of you did.
Oh yeah,
could be that. Could be that. Oh dear.
We tricked Blue. Okay.
Oh right. Apparently,
the number in the top right corner?
Sorry, Carl.
Have you been talking about the number in the top right corner here, or?
Yes, that's been fairly consistent. But looking on YouTube, it keeps dropping to 1. But someone said that a famous streamer, regularly goes from 45,000 down to 1. Wow. Perhaps they've all popped over here. Yeah, that'll be it. Yeah, because we had the stream last night, didn't we, Kyle? Which I enjoyed. And then we had a bit of an after stream in the live waiting room. And incidentally, more people should hop on. It was quite interesting, wasn't it, Kyle?
Oh, it was interesting. It'll stick around for a little bit.
Yeah. So I was quite late last night. So
it feels kind of like an after show or something like that, if only you're recording.
I'm sorry, say again, Kyle.
Saying what you could do is do like some kind of, if only there was some way to kind of turn that into an after show for like.
Well, I can do. I wouldn't do it without letting people know. But that was actually quite interesting. Stingray was doing some good chat about ray tracing programs and three-dimensional computer graphics and so on. That was really interesting stuff. So, yeah, after the stream finishes, if you don't have anywhere else to go to, why not hop on? You don't have to speak, but you can if you want. These people don't bite. They're mostly a friendly bunch. I think you'll agree with that, won't you, Kyle? Mostly.
It depends on what time you're talking about, and it depends on whether you're there or not. Because, yeah, I don't know. I was talking with some people last night, just in your general chat area, and that's where there's a lot more trolls over there.
Well, I think it's more free to chat. As long as people aren't being abusive, people perhaps can start expressing their opinions, defending their position more strongly.
Comments like, "Yeah, well, you're stupid," is kind of a little bit more abusive over there. And
yes.
It can make you feel unwelcome pretty quick.
Well, everyone is welcome to this channel, and I mean, if you're in that situation, obviously I don't want it to start getting into a flame war or whatever. But stand up for your position. If you disagree, say, don't call me that. Anyway, I think my energy is petering out. So's the number of counts. It was dropping down to 1 again just a minute ago. I've never seen that before.
No.
Obviously, it is happening on other channels from what I'm reading.
I guess the YouTube API is just acting up a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I'm not.
As long as people can watch and they can hear us, always good.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not worried about what YouTube does there. No. Well, it didn't look as though. With Bev, it was polite. We went through stuff I expected, but I thought he was really going to try and get stuck into the level horizontal thing, but he didn't.
He tried to with the video.
Well, he had that modus tollens, but then when I said, he said, no, you don't want to get into that, and that's absolutely right. And he didn't push it any further, so that was fine.
That's true.
I thought he was going to argue more about the whole modus tollens thing. Not that he's agreeing with that position of QE and that, but I thought he was. Well, he did to a certain extent try to go into the logical steps, but it didn't actually matter. Modus tollens is a thing. They weren't applying it properly, and whatever results they got wouldn't show what they had hoped it would show, even if it did show it, which it didn't. So it was fail all round, really, on QE and Bev's part. And I think Bev then basically agreed.
On that part, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I'm not saying he's going to agree with everything I say.
No, but that was my argument that I tried to make when he was still here. I know that he doesn't agree with the if parts that you don't agree with, blah blah. But if you would assume that was true, then that would be the conclusion. He agreed with that.
Yes.
That doesn't mean he agrees with the conclusions.
No, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's what I tried to say.
Logic is logic.
Yeah.
And if you follow that logic, this would be the conclusion.
So he managed to pinpoint that logic correctly, and I was happy about that.
Yeah. I think it was a successful discussion, actually.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I thought of maybe going up to 11 o'clock. It's 12 minutes to 11. Oh, apparently, Turtle Move says, with only one watching, I'm not going to get a shield check this month. That's true. And I did see someone else, I've forgotten who it was, said that's because every now and then 100 of us log out and go and watch fluffy little kitten videos, then come back again. It could be. Right, guys. So I'm going to take advantage as Bev has gone, and I'm going to get to bed 10 minutes earlier than I thought, because Mrs. S is cracking a whip. I've got stuff to do tomorrow, and a night off tomorrow.
All right.
What have you got coming up, Mr. 42? Let's go through.
Well, that is actually pretty funny. I was planning to do a video, but instead I picked up the fine art of doing a live stream. So we picked apart the video live this evening. That was basically a pre-show for Mr. Sensible today. I was like, hey, I have like 2 hours. Let's make 1.5 hours the live stream with that. And I had the Snark on, I had Next Pro on, I had Nimrod on. And we had a load of fun.
Good. Good, and obviously I did see you were doing a live stream the other night, and I'm glad that you're doing that. I hope you enjoy doing it. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of things to watch out for while you're doing it, isn't it?
Yeah, but that is not an issue. I just need to get used to it, and yeah, the whole thing. It is new for me. I need to learn it, and why not?
Of
So
course.
what actually happened today? I was planning to do a video, and like 15 minutes before I started the live stream, I was like, no, let's do this live for a change. Let's get myself out of the comfort zone.
Wow, good. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad to hear it for you too, and I shall try and join you on one of your live streams sometime soon. And FE Pilot, do you have a channel?
I do. FE Pilot.
If one of the mods could grab hold of FE Pilot's channel and stick it in the chat, that would be great. And is your channel stuff about aircraft and flight, or what's it about?
It's mostly about the head-up display and how we look down at the horizon. And the higher up we go above the surface of the ground, the lower we look down on the horizon.
And
it's mostly about that.
I presume, I don't, I'm not assuming, but I presume that you've come across Wolfie 6020, have you?
Yes.
Yeah.
My channel is very much in line with Wolfie 6020, except his is, I would say, broader. He does a lot more, like he has gyros, and mine is more just focused on the head-up display.
Okay.
And now I'm just branching out of celestial navigation, because as we know, celestial navigation only works with parallel sunlight and a globe surface, because we're literally measuring the Earth curvature when we do celestial nav.
And
two
people have put links into your channel there, so thank you for that, guys. Appreciate that.
I wonder what your stance is on celestial refraction there.
I would say most of the time it's predictable, at least according to the celestial navigation almanacs. But I guess there is these edge cases where, the refraction goes crazy a little bit.
Do you agree that celestial fraction breaks from parallel?
Yes, absolutely.
All right,
it makes us see further around the curvature and, messes with the horizon.
Okay, but it's not parallel with celestial refraction. That's
as I was saying last night, Carl. It comes into account more and more once you start dropping below about 15 degrees above the horizon.
I don't disagree.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. So thank you for that, Effie, and thank you for joining us. And you're very welcome. I hope you'll come on again sometime, especially if we start talking about anything to do with heads-up displays and aircraft and so on, because that's way outside my field. And Kyle, do you have anything particular coming up that you'd like to shill out?
Shadow origami. That's what
this new thing you're saying. Yes. When's that out then? Yeah. I need some content.
It'll be out by next week. That's my big.
By next week. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I'm really trying to get that one out. I've been pushing for it, and just things keep coming up.
And that is in connection. In connection with
my previous on lunar eclipses. They all say the shadow of a ball is always a circle and it's always round, and so I'm going to end up taking a shadow and making some different shapes out of it. And my rule of thumb is it has to be used using a ball. Okay, I've got to shine a light on a ball and see how many different shapes I can make out of it.
Okay, that'll be interesting. Sorry, FE Pilot, can you just do me a favour? Can you just drop just a comment? You can just say hello into the side chat. And Dora, if you can see if it works, because apparently there's a nice, neat way of getting links to people's channels. If you just post some sort of comment, they'll be able to link your channel from your comment.
I'll do that right now.
Okay, because obviously only mods can post links, so you wouldn't be able to do it yourself, but it means we've definitely got the right channel. I'm pretty sure we have, because 4 people have posted a link all to the same channel, but that'd be nice to test it.
And the content on that channel was the correct channel, I think.
I know, I had a look as well, and it did look like it.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice to see. So hopefully FE Pilot's comment's about to appear in there.
Unfortunately, I can only post that link in about 5 minutes.
No.
Oh, just a dot or something.
Just text. Yeah. You won't be allowed to post a link. Just say hello. That's all you need to do.
Sure, I will do that, but it's in subscribers only mode right now.
Oh.
I just subscribed.
I see. What about you, Carl? Are you a subscriber?
To what?
To
your
my channel.
Yeah, I'm a subscriber to your
Oh,
channel.
right. Okay. Just drop a...
I like being notified when you get new videos. There.
Okay. Yeah, Kyle, can you do that then? Just post a comment in chat. Just say hello. It doesn't matter what. And then perhaps Dora or one of the mods.
There might be a slight echo here for a moment. Let me see if I got it on my phone already because I was listening to that. That's how I got
sensible. In my defense, I am subscribed already now on 2 channels to your channel.
Okay. That publicly. Hello.
Oh, look, the Black Swan has posted so many of my favourite creators in chat. I'm glad you can join us tonight, Black Swan. Oh, there you go, Dora. Kyle's just posted. So, Kyle, it looks like you get another freebie shield to your channel. If Dora can do that, I presume.
I can. There it is.
Oh, there's go to chat. So what do? I can see it's go to channel. Is that what you do? You go to channel and then just copy the link and come back again?
Yeah. Is that back again? Because they added it and then removed it and now it's back again? I did do that before with a plugin. That's why I don't really know if it's there or not.
Right. I'm just trying it. So I've just gone... Yes, it goes to...
Okay.
Goes to Kyle's channel. There we go. Cool. Yes, third time. We know mods can paste links, but it does rely on you finding the right channel. Whereas if the guest actually just posts, then you can go to their channel directly, copy the link back. So it's a great idea, Dora. Thank you. Thank you. Right, guys, I'm going to say thank you very much. Good night. I'll put you back into the live waiting room. I see we've got Stingray, Snark and Rumpus, all of whom can talk the hind legs off a donkey, and Gary Y. Benga, who perhaps is that donkey. I'm not sure. No, of course not, Gary. You'll be the one to persuade the donkey to go for a walk again afterwards. So thanks very much for joining us. Good night, 42. See you soon, yeah?
Good night. Thank you. Bye.
Good night. And Kyle, thank you for popping in again. That was a nice surprise that you came back again. So it couldn't have been too bad last night.
I didn't get too excited when I was talking there because sometimes I can get a little louder when I get excited.
No problem at all. Okay, thank you. Well, I'll pop you back in the waiting room. You're welcome to stay, or if you need to run, that's fine too. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Mr. Sensible. Good night.
Yep. Effie, I really appreciate you coming, and I did get that DM earlier on with that image. I've seen imagery like that before, and I think it's fantastic. And I would just love to sit in a seat looking for a heads-up display at the front of an aircraft. Best I've ever done, and hopefully I'll be doing it again in just a few weeks, is a little seaplane. Because obviously most modern aircraft, the pilots are behind secured doors and that, which I totally understand. But a little seaplane in the Maldives, and I can look over the pilot's shoulder, see him wearing his flip-flops, and look straight out the front. Brilliant stuff.
I am jealous that you're headed to the Maldives.
Oh, yes.
High-end.
Sorry?
Nice as it gets.
Yeah, it's amazing. I went about 5 years ago, going again on the 5th of March. Not that I'm counting the days.
Enjoy. With everything we've been through, it's a well-deserved vacation.
Thank you. Today I've mostly been looking into all the rules and regs about forms and notifications and PCR tests and stuff like that. Never mind, just about sorted. Okay, thank you, and do join us again sometime, FE Pilot.
Thank you.
Thank you. And the Snark, I see you're in there. You're absolutely right, sir. You're absolutely right. That wonderful song will be coming up again. It really does get good comments. If you're watching this stream and you always run away just at the end, which I can understand, I suggest you have a listen to the song written by the Snark, performed by the Snark and Henriette Hamer. I think that's how you say it, isn't it, Snark? Because it's a wonderful, wonderful outro song. I'm going to thank all of you for joining us tonight. I thank the guests. It was a good chat with Bev. I did enjoy it. I genuinely did. Thanks for everyone who's come along. Thanks for every member, subscriber, patron. And thank you, YouTube, for showing that currently we've got 136 and not just one person watching. Have a good weekend, all. Take care. Until next time, stay sensible. I've lost my mouse now. It's all going wrong, isn't it? Good night.
Mr. Sensible, Mr. Sensible, bring me some cheese, and get me only the best if you please. Here are some flowers. you are a man. Every subscriber is a faithful fan. Bring your logic and your cheese. Mr. Sensible, help us out, please. Mr. Sensible, Mr. Sensible, I needed proof of gravity, so I jumped off the roof, let me go further. Why was I ever such a dumb flat earther, Mr. Sensible, Mr. Sensible? I'm such a clown, I am the laughing stock of the town. Bring your logic and your cheese, Mr. Sensible, help me out, please. Mr. Sensible, bring me a sphere, to which the waters of the oceans adhere, have explanations, but let me be candid. So clear that all the Flerf must understand it, Mr. Sensible, please hear my call, the earth is not flat, so let's have a ball, so bring your logic and your cheese.